Today's episode isn't about a new single drop or a red carpet debut. It's about something much deeper: identity, family, legacy, and the quiet chaos of growing up under lights that never go out. We're diving into the story of King Harris, also known as Kid Cyan, the son of T.I. and Tiny, born into the spotlight but now fighting to define himself beyond it. It's easy to look at celebrity kids and assume they have it all. Money, connections, fame, opportunity, what more could they need? But when the cameras shut off and the crowds disappear, what's left behind is often more complicated than anyone's prepared to admit. This story isn't just about headlines or viral videos. It's about what happens when the image crafted for TV clashes with a truth that never made it to air. Let's start at the beginning. King Cyan Harris was born on August 25, 2004, into one of hip-hop's most recognizable families. His father, Clifford Harris, better known as T.I., built a career that spans music, business, and entertainment. His mother, Tamika "Tiny" Harris, is an accomplished R&B singer and reality TV star in her own right. Together, they became not just a couple but a brand. Their family life was broadcast to millions through their hit reality series T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle. It showed a tight-knit, wealthy, seemingly functional black family navigating fame while trying to stay grounded. Audiences watched the Harris children grow up in lavish homes, attend private schools, and ride in luxury cars. King, often seen as the fiery and energetic middle son, became a fan favorite. But like many reality TV families, what the audience saw was carefully edited, curated, and managed. It turns out the life King was actually living was far less glamorous. According to King himself, much of his upbringing was spent not in the Harris mansion, but at his grandmother's house. He stated publicly that he would only come to the family home when it was time to film the show. Producers and assistants would pick him up, get him dressed, get the scenes rolling, and then drop him back off with his nana as soon as filming wrapped. This wasn't a one-off story. It became a pattern, a system. While the cameras painted a picture of a tight family unit, King was growing up on the outskirts of that fantasy. That kind of arrangement, particularly for a child, creates a deep psychological divide. You're told that you're part of something special, but you don't feel it every day. You're asked to play a role, sometimes literally, for an audience, and then you're sent back to a reality that looks very different. Over time, that disconnect can harden into resentment, confusion, or both. As he got older, King began asserting himself more publicly. He didn't shy away from the attention. In fact, he embraced it. But instead of following his parents' more polished path, he chose to break away and establish his own identity in music. Under the name Kid Cyan, King dropped tracks that showed real promise, raw energy, aggressive bars, confidence, and emotional honesty. He wasn't just T.I.'s son trying to rap. He was building a sound, a persona, a message. But even as his music career grew, so did the scrutiny. Every move he made was magnified under a lens sharpened by expectations. When you're born famous, it's almost impossible to mess up quietly. The internet is always watching, ready to turn every teenage mistake into a trending topic. And King, like many celebrity kids before him, began feeling the weight of that reality. In November 2023, things reached a breaking point. A video leaked online showing a heated argument between King and his father, T.I. The argument quickly went viral, and not just because it featured two famous people, it went viral because of what it revealed. In the video, T.I. claimed that King had lived a life of luxury, suggesting that his son was ungrateful for the opportunities he'd been given. He used the phrase "silver spoon" and said something that hit hard. "You never woke up with a roach crawling across your face." That comment was meant to highlight the stark difference between T.I.'s childhood and the life he believed he provided for his son. But King didn't back down. He fired back with his own truth, saying that despite all the wealth and cameras, he didn't feel connected to that life. He identified more with the streets, with struggle, with realness, because that's where he felt most seen. That clash between perceived privilege and lived experience revealed a larger theme that many children of famous parents wrestle with. When your reality doesn't match the one people assume you live, the pressure to pretend becomes suffocating. That argument was more than just a viral clip. It was a crack in the carefully crafted image of the Harris family. And once the cracks showed, the dam burst. Months earlier, in 2022, King had already hinted at deeper trouble. He posted a story on Instagram saying he had been taken into custody. He didn't elaborate, didn't explain, just dropped the news and disappeared. The post triggered a wave of speculation. What happened? Was he in trouble? Was he spiraling? As the story spread, fingers started pointing, not just at King, but at his parents. Critics questioned whether T.I. was really present in his son's life, or if the family hustle brand had papered over deeper issues. T.I. eventually addressed the situation. In a short video, he told people to stop flooding his DMs and reminded the world that parenting isn't a spectator sport. He said he talks to his son, knows his struggles, and is handling it privately. But even with that reassurance, the questions kept coming. Over the next year, King's name continued popping up in headlines for all the wrong reasons. Missed court appearances, reports of being pulled over with restricted items in the vehicle, a citation for driving without a license. Each news story seemed to reinforce the idea that King was going off the rails. But for those paying closer attention, it wasn't just rebellion. It was a cry for autonomy, a pushback against a life that never felt fully in his control. And then came the most devastating moment yet. A private video of King in an intimate moment was leaked online. This wasn't some casual tabloid rumor. It was a violation, a personal, raw, and intimate moment shared without his consent. Even worse, reports claim that the video was deliberately sent to his father and to Big Nana, the mother of his child. That escalated the situation from scandal to outright betrayal. Now, it wasn't just about King's behavior, it was about privacy, consent, and emotional damage. In the days that followed, the internet erupted. Some people mocked him, others defended him, and many asked a hard question. How much access should we really have to a young person's private life? Especially someone who never chose the spotlight but was born into it. As fans and trolls debated online, rumors began swirling that Big Nana still had the video and might be holding it for personal leverage. Whether that's true or not, the damage was already done. The emotional toll of having such a personal moment weaponized is immeasurable. And as usual, all eyes turned back to the parents. Behind the scenes, word is that T.I. and Tiny are not aligned on how to handle the situation. Sources close to the family say Tiny wants transparency. She reportedly believes that King should own his mistakes, speak his truth, and stop letting the internet control the story. Her approach is one of accountability through honesty. But T.I., known for being fiercely protective of his brand, is taking a more discreet approach. He's reportedly making quiet calls, exploring legal options, and doing everything in his power to contain the situation. No statements, no interviews, just damage control. It's a split that mirrors the very dynamic King is trapped between: public vulnerability versus private control. What's clear now is that King Harris is no longer just the boy from Family Hustle. He's a young man caught in the turbulence of fame, family expectations, and personal evolution. He's made mistakes, no doubt. But those mistakes exist within a system that never gave him the space to be imperfect in peace. And perhaps that's what this entire story boils down to: a young man trying to be human in a world that expects him to be a brand. The internet is fast to judge, but slower to understand. And if we take anything from King's journey, it should be that the gap between perception and reality is often wide, lonely, and filled with pain. So where does King Harris go from here? Will he continue rebelling, or will he reclaim his narrative on his own terms? Can the Harris family come together and do the hard work of healing, not just for the cameras, but for real life? Only time will tell. But if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's that behind every viral moment, there's a real person, a real family, and a real story that deserves more than just a headline. What do you think? Is King Harris just a product of fame gone wrong? Or is he a young man trying to find peace in a life that was never truly his to begin with? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you never miss the next sip.